scribes, which as I pointed out earlier, the RSV, the Revised Standard Version, is based on older documents than the King James scribes had access to. So the RSV is more accurate than the King James Version, um, which I pointed out in the beginning of my speech when I started talking.
Codex Aleph and Codex Beta is corrupt. All scholars know this.
Let me prove it, Don, because I don't want you to smash my point.
Go ahead.
Let me get the floor real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right, so brother, you stated several times that the NIV is the better text, right? So in the NIV, I want you to go to Matthew 18 and 11.
1 second. Matthew 18, New International Version, verse 11. Hold on. 1 second, family.
Yeah.
Pull it up. There's no verse for verse 11.
Right.
There's no verse for verse 11. Right.
LBeats.com.
Wanna murder me, but never heard of me. Intellectually, it's a murder scene. Claiming you a scholar, get the clock out. Claiming you a scholar, get the clock out. Wanna murder me, but never heard of me. Intellectually, it's a murder scene. Claiming you a scholar, get the clock out. Claiming you a scholar, get the clock out. Black excellence at its finest. Yeah, using big words, but he can't define it. Finna hit him with the cannon, don't you stand behind him. It's about to get hot, watch me change the climate. He's nothing but a novice and he show his heart. Man, I think this rookie's done, sticking with a fork. Yeah, he treading water, swimming with the sharks. You will never see the light, living in the dark. The only thing he study is this information. Till I show him all his flaws in his calculation. Gotta leave his dummy dead as a demonstration. So I hit him with the K with no hesitation. It's a wealth of knowledge you ain't never seen. Chop his body up and weigh the dead on a triple beam. It's the scholastic bully on my phone and he keep calling me. Need me to come and pick him up from another murder scene. And he's telling me, I don't know why they keep debating me. I said we just gonna keep kicking their ass into reality. Judas 7,000 said they want a war, but they should have already known that's what we looking for. Wanna murder me, but never heard of me. Intellectually, it's a murder scene. Claiming you a scholar, get the clock out. Claiming you a scholar.
Revelations 22:19.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book.
So we just proved to you, brother, Rabbi, and everybody that's watching, he made a statement that the NIV is the better version of the Bible, but yet NIV does not have Matthew 18 and 11 and a multitude of other scriptures.
Damn.
Jeremiah, what year did Quirinius tax Jerusalem?
I don't know, family.
Say again? What year did he die?
No, your brother, your name is Jeremiah, right? You said?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, what year did Quirinius was appointed legate? What year would he do the taxation in Jerusalem? What year was that?
I don't know, brother.
Okay. Well, you're not qualified to debate the topic.
Bruh.
So my first question would be, to get started, what year was Jesus born?
Jeremiah, you want to tackle that?
Yeah, man. As we know that the dating system that we have as of today, especially here in America, the dating system that we have is based upon the biblical text. So when you're looking at the dating system within itself, it goes back to the birth of Christ, which is 1 AD, or the year 1. All right, then it starts to build up from there.
Now, Rabbi, you want us to all answer individually, or that's a broad question?
Well, yeah, I mean, and then when I'm getting at Jesus has 2 birthdays, which I wrote a book called The Jesus Has 2 Birthdays. Right? I'm a published author. I'm an apologist and published author in Stockton, Leicester. Jesus has 2 birthdays in the Bible, and we know he was not born in 1 AD. That's bogus. What year did King Herod die? Let me ask you guys that. King Herod, who was the king of Jews.
Rabbi, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Just like Jeremiah said, honestly, I don't like to go by dates in the sense of the Roman calendar, as we know today, is a bastard calendar. So
Okay.
when you start going by dates, it's like estimating. Like the brother said 1 AD, some say 5 AD, some say 6 AD for the Messiah. For Herod, they say 4 BC. Now, as far as, like I said again, I've seen many historians to change it. Some say 2, some say 7, some say 8. So it's kind of still up in the air.
Well, for those who are not privy, what am I getting? In a nutshell, what am I getting? Why did I ask that question? Okay. Jesus has 2 birthdays. I wrote a book called The Jesus Has 2 Birthdays. And in Matthew, he's born in 7 to 6 BCE because Herod died in 4 BCE.
Right. That's what I was saying. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, definitely. So he had the children 2 years younger killed. So Joseph and Mary flee to Egypt. And then the angel came and said, okay, Herod is dead. And then his son Archelaus took over, right? So in Matthew, Jesus born in 7-6 BCE, for sure. It was definitely 7 or 6. The scholars are not sure if it was 7 or 6 BCE, but it was either 7 or 6. Then if you go to the book of Luke, he's born in the time of Quirinius. You know what Quirinius was?
Tell us, brother.
So Quirinius was the governor of Syria, but Caesar Augustus appointed him the Syrian legate and gave him the duty of taxing Jerusalem. They're doing the taxation process in Jerusalem. So in Luke, Mary and Joseph go up to get taxed in Jerusalem by Quirinius, and in that same year they gave birth to Jesus in the manger, which that was 6 AD. Because if you look in the history, you type in the census of Quirinius, it tells you that this was 6. It's happened in 6 AD. So Jesus has 2 birthdays, 6 to 7 BCE, and Matthew. And then Luke, he's born in 6 AD. Clear contradiction. But
hold up, man. Hold up. Let me ask you. You said that Christ, right, went up from a census that was called by Quirinius.
His name was, some scholars call him Cyrenius, some call him Quirinius. It's the same person.
Okay, Cyrenius was after Herod.
So Herod dies 4 BCE. His son Archelaus takes over. Archelaus rules from 4 BC to 6 AD, but Augustus took him off because they were like the proxy king, so to speak. Augustus was king, but Herod was like an in-between king, so to speak, right? So like a hegemon, for lack of better words, they call it in Greek. Yeah. So yeah.
So Herod, hold up, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
Herod talked to the wise men that came to Christ in the manger, according to the book of Matthew. So how could that be? How could Herod be dead when he was alive?
Right. So again, Jesus was born in 7-6 BCE. Some scholars say 7, say 6, but it was certainly no sooner than 6 BCE because Herod died in 4 BCE. He dies. They flee to Egypt. Herod dies. His son Archelaus takes over from 4 to 6 AD. Augustus takes Archelaus off the throne, appoints Quirinius as Syrian legate to tax Jerusalem.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but are you saying that the biblical text is lying? Matthew, the book of Matthew, is lying about Herod meeting the wise men?
What you, brother? Jesus has 2 birthdays, 7 to 6
Brother,
BC
brother,
and
brother,
Matthew.
brother. Jesus don't got no 2 damn birthdays, brother. Okay. So my question to you is, when did Herod meet the wise men according to the biblical narrative, and then went to see Christ in the manger? How could Herod be dead? Herod then died in the 3rd chapter of Matthew's, right? No, he dies in the 2nd chapter. That's when Christ and his parents come back from Egypt, according to the biblical narrative. So I don't understand. I don't get what your point is, brother.
Okay, so let me. What year did Herod die?
Shalom, brothers. Can I break in?
We've
Yeah.
already initiated it somewhere around 4 BC.
What year did Quirinius was appointed legate, Syrian legate?
Hey, everybody, can I introduce?
Hold on, brother. Let me finish.
Okay, I just want to let everybody know the guy that you wanted to speak with, Pro Izzo, is in the building. He's in the building right now.
So, brother Horace, what year did Quirinius appointed? What year did Quirinius do the taxation process?
Yeah, my apologies, brother. My name is Jeremiah. Yah, please say the Yah. HRS is my camp, brother. So I know it might be on the screen, but that's the name of my camp. My name is Jeremiah, brother.
Jeremiah, what year did Quirinius tax Jerusalem?
I don't know, family.
Say again. What year did he die?
No, your brother. Your name is Jeremiah, right? You said.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, what year did Quirinius was appointed legate? What year did he do the taxation in Jerusalem? What year was that?
I don't know, brother.
Okay. We're not qualified to debate the topic.
Hold on, brother. If you're bringing some information that's contrary to the biblical text, I am qualified because I know the Bible. So you can't tell me something about Quirinius, all right, when the Bible is telling us in the book of Matthew that Herod met with the wise men. And then it tells you about the death of Herod in the 2nd chapter. So don't tell me I'm not qualified, brother. What the hell are you talking about? Is the Bible lying?
What year was Quirinius? What year did Quirinius do the taxation?
Is the Bible lying? That's what I'm asking you.
Wait, who took over after Herod died?
Brother.
That's you. Am I asking my question?
I asked you a question.
Brother, just answer my question.
Is the Bible lying according to the biblical narrative? Is what you're saying in the Bible? That's what I'm asking you, brother.
Of course it's in the Bible.
Okay, well, show us where Herod was dead before Christ was born.
I never said that. I said he was born in 7 BCE. Herod died in 4, so that means he was still alive. BC counts the other direction, backwards to 4. So 7 comes before 4, and we count BC time. So Jesus was born in 7 BCE, and then Herod dies in 4. He was already 3 years old or 2 years old when Herod died.
Okay, so I don't understand what your point is from the gate, because you're saying about a census that was called, that with Mary and Joseph was brought into Jerusalem, that was called by a ruler that came after Herod. That's what you said, bro.
Yes. So, brother, I'm not gonna keep repeating it. Archelaus took
so hold on, because you talk a little fast, brother, because it sounds like you're trying to say that Matthew and Luke have a different account of the timeline. That's what you're trying to say, because you said 2 births.
In a nutshell, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right. So then hold on. So then answering Jeremiah's question, you're basically calling the Bible a lie because it has 2 different accounts.
Oh, there's multiple explanations for this, and I yield the floor. Scott just said Luke just made an error. He meant to write. Well, I have anyway. That's on the top.
Right, but what I'm asking you is, what is your point about bringing up these Roman generals? Like, what's your point?
Quirinius is in the Bible, brother. This is not Roman.
What I'm saying, brother, right? But he's not important. Is what I'm asking. What is your point?
He's not important. Please elaborate what you mean.
In the sense of, if we're dealing with a biblical narrative, the biblical narrative about the Messiah, he didn't come from no damn Roman general. So what's your point?
I think maybe we're supposed to step in, but
what
I
is
think
the subject we all originated discussing? these questions are a little bit sidebar. They sound like red herrings. What
Right.
is the original subject we're discussing, if I may ask?
Well, I think it was supposed to be me on the hot seat, but I had a couple questions. I want to go first. So this
Well, he asked us, Don. He wanted to know what was the date of the Messiah's born day, his what you call birthday.
He's birthed somewhere roughly in the neighborhood between 6 and 4 BCE.
Right, we answered that. So then he went to another spill. Now you can go ahead, brother.
No, please, brother, continue. I'm sorry, you were explaining it. Go ahead.
So Don, after that question, he asked us. He basically gave the account of Matthew when Jeremiah came on, which we know the account of Matthew, and then he gave the account of Luke. So what he's trying to say is the account of Luke is different than the account of Matthew, but I didn't understand what relevance did that have. That's what I was asking him.
I understand what he's saying, but what you cannot do is say one of your objections is about Herod dying before Christ, or Christ wasn't born during the time of Herod. That could not be true. Matthew tells you that. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, Herod was the king. He was the tetrarch.
Exactly.
There came wise men from the east. Had you read the story, you would know that, right? Herod is inquiring about the birth of Jesus because the wise men that knew the scrolls, they knew that a birth of a king would come rightly from Judah. And it tells you this in Matthew 2. Jeremiah, would you mind, Bavakashah, turn over to Matthew chapter 2 and please pick it up at verse 1 and read down to verse 7. And then also pick up, actually, you can just read Matthew 2 and 7.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mean to.
Hey, hold on. By the way, for those who just tuning in, this is my Pro Izzo Don Bird. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pro. I don't mean to take up too much time. Let's go. But
let's get into the scripture, brother. Okay. Come on, man.
Okay. So, Pro, my question for you is: who took over after Herod died?
Well, let's go through the scripture first. You're doing too much at once. Let's.
Sure.
I mean, all right, come on. Let's go into the scripture. We're gonna build. We're gonna walk together. Go ahead. Let's get the scripture. Jeremiah, get the scripture, all right?
Matthew 2 and 7, please.
Come on. Matthew chapter 2, verse 7. Matthew 2 and 7, and it reads, Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquiring of them diligently what time the star appeared. Verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. Meaning the child was born, right?
Keep reading.
And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also.
He said, bring him word that he might do what?
Bring me word that I may come worship him also.
So, brother, do you understand that Herod and Christ was alive at the same time? Christ?
We're not qualified to debate the topic.
Also.
He said, bring him word that he might do what?
Bring me word that I may come worship him also.
So, brother, do you understand that Herod and Christ was alive at the same time? Christ was actually born during the time of King Herod, the Tetrarch's reign over Judea. Right. Do you understand that? And later on, about verse 26.
I think I confirmed that 3 times already.
Okay. So now, that should answer your question. At least it should satisfy the question.
Okay, so go to Luke chapter 2, start at verse 1. Somebody can pull Luke 2. Through Luke chapter 2, 1 through 6.
All right, Luke chapter 2.
Don, what his premise was is he's trying to say he knows what Matthew says. Go ahead, Yashar.
Go ahead, brother. What is your premise? Let's hear it. I would like to hear it.
Yeah, so go to Luke chapter 2, 1 through 6 real quick. Let's look at that.
All right, he want to know your premise though. Can you explain it to him? He came on late.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, excuse me, brother. Yeah, I think you came on late, brother. Okay. So in Matthew, Jesus born in 76 BCE because Herod died in 4 BC, and he had to have the children 2 years younger killed. So we know if you do some math, that's 7 to 6 BCE.
Some scholars say 33 BCE.
Hold up, man. Let's not be intellectually dishonest here. This brother said that it was Quirinius that called for the census.
Yeah, brother, we're about to look at that right now. We're about to look at that right now.
Was dead. Go ahead. I'm just informing the brother of what else you said, brother. Is that okay?
I'm sorry, brother. Please continue.
Yeah, I don't mean no harm, brother. I'm just letting the brother know what else was said.
Okay. So all right, let's keep it in order. So where are we now? Luke chapter 2, and what we're looking for is what now?
He said 1 through 7.
Don, he's trying to tell you that when Quirinius took over, it basically knocked out the story in Matthew, that it basically contradicts each other, that Luke made an error. But I just want to know where he was going with that. Go ahead,
I'm looking at it now. It's not a contradiction at all. Let's go ahead and read it though.
All right, Luke chapter 2 at verse, and it came to pass in those days there went out a decree from Caesar. I don't know why we keep calling him Quirinius. Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed, and that this taxation was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. What does that have to do with Caesar?
I mean, okay. God damn, he was what was he the governor of, brother Don?
He's the governor of Syria.
No, Bethlehem.
Syria.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
And
so it sounds like, Rabbi, you got your Quirinius is mixed up because he ain't have nothing to do with Rome.
That was a kill shot. That was a kill shot. So what else you got, brother?
That's not a headshot. Hold on. Somebody type
kill shot.
Hold on. Let me reconcile that. Type in census of Quirinius real quick on Wikipedia. We'll look at that real quick.
No. We're not looking at Wikipedia, brother. What we're gonna do is you're gonna use the scripture. Let me just say this. You're gonna use the scripture to put Quirinius as governor of Judea when Quirinius was not governor of Judea. He was governor of Syria, brother.
Right, he's the governor.
Because you on record, Rabbi, that you said that he took over after Herod. You said that, brother.
Right.
No. I said, brother. Census of Quirinius. You type it in. It was the census of Judea taken by Quirinius. So he was appointed to do a census in Judea.
No,
okay?
You said
how when he was the king of Syria.
You said he took over for Herod. That's what you said, bro.
Brother, type in census Quirinius, please. We can read this real quick.
Brother, Rabbi, hey, Rabbi, you know you recorded, right? We heard everything you said. Look, numbers and videos don't lie.
Right.
Real talk.
Do you understand what is going on, brother?
Brother, please.
Do you understand when you go to Luke chapter 2, it's telling you who the Caesar Augustus was. Do you understand who he is?
Brother, you guys don't know what you're talking about because you don't know the topic. Type in census of Quirinius.
The question was, do you understand who the Caesar Augustus is? That's what I asked you.
Who took over after Herod died for the third time?
Brother, do you not hear me asking you a question? I'm asking you, do you understand?
Antipas took over after him, man.
I want to ask him one more time because, cognitive dissonance is a big thing here right now.
Hey, Proizo, he requested to be on the hot seat. So now that he's on the hot seat, he don't want to answer questions. He want to ask questions. If you request to be on the hot seat, you answer questions, brother. So which one do you want? Do you want to have a discussion or do you want to be on the hot seat?
So the question still stands on his head, brother.
Right.
Do you understand who Caesar Augustus is?
Right, which is the emperor of Rome. He's the emperor of Rome. That's what he is, brother. He's the emperor of Rome.
Which he is the ruler. He is the fourth beast.
Right.
The governor here, Cyrenius, don't have the kind of power that Augustus had. Do you understand that? I'm asking you a question, brother, directly.
You're on the hot seat now. Do you understand, brother?
Well, oh my God, I just told you, Herod. I mean, Caesar Augustus appointed Quirinius to do
Herod
a.
is not a. He is not a. This is what. This is the fourth time
Brother,
you
after
asked me the
Herod died,
same.
another Herod took over. So what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Antipas, his son, that ruled in Galilee, took over, bro. What are you talking about?
Herod is a tetrarch. He is a puppet king. He does not have the kind of power that a Caesar had.
Herod
They
is
appoint
a
him.
family name.
Right.
Right, he's just like Pilate. He's a governor. He's more like a governor. That's all he was. Like that's why Dad said a puppet king.
He's
Okay.
a puppet king.
Hold
Meaning
on.
he don't have the kind of power. He has
Okay,
to
hold on.
answer to Rome.
Okay, go to Luke 2. Go down to start at verse 2 through 6. It's gonna explain it.
All right. This is
Go
Luke
ahead. Keep
chapter
reading.
2 at verse 2. And this taxation was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
Of Syria.
Keep reading. That's
And
not
when
the point. Keep reading.
I'm okay, brother. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the household or the lineage of David, meaning he was a Jew or Judah.
Right.
And he went up to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. She's pregnant with Jesus at the time. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
Okay, so stop there. So let me explain. So, what year was Cyrenius appointed governor of Syria? 6 AD. So hold on, brother.
Okay,
Don't cut me
6
off.
AD.
Hold on, brother. This is 6 AD. Look up when Cyrenius became governor of Syria. So when they wanted to be taxed to Jerusalem, Mary and Joseph, they gave birth to Jesus that same year they wanted to be taxed. We know that was 6 AD because you look in the Roman records when Cyrenius became governor of Syria, that was 6 AD. So we know, and Luke, he's born in 6 AD when they wanted to get taxed because to Bethlehem, when the same year Cyrenius became governor of Syria, which was 6 AD. Clear contradiction.
I'm sorry, that's not a contradiction.
It's not a contradiction at all.
Nor is that, first of all, that's not even an argument. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you to explain a damn thing here. What is your point? Because that wasn't a point.
So the point is Jesus in Matthew's born 76 BC. Then in Luke, he's born when Cyrenius became governor of Syria. The same year he became governor of Syria, which was 680. So he's got two birthdays.
Hold up, man. Hold up, man.
First of all, hold on. Let me address that, yeah. You go to an account and you say, he was born 6 BC. And then here's another account. He was born in 6 AD. Now, let me ask you something, brother. Do you have two birthdays?
No.
Okay. Why would you think that your account information is correct? You come up with two different birthdays. How did you wind up coming up with two different birthdays? That's not even what it's saying here. It tells you in the verse that you asked me to read, it tells you Mary was great with child. Does that mean she was birthed with a child, or does that mean she was pregnant with a child?
She was pregnant.
Thank you. So how the hell is he going to have two birthdays? Now, where's this other account that you just pulled up where you come up with 6 AD? Come on, give it to us.
Give it up. Turn it loose.
Yo, man, this man said I wasn't qualified to speak on this, man, but clearly somebody's not qualified here.
I mean, it's interesting that you pull this and you just skim right over the verse. Here, let me read it to you one more time. And here it is, Luke. Verse 5 and 2. Here's Joseph. He goes up out of Galilee.
Start at 2.
Well, I just want to get to the point because this is ridiculous. This is not an argument. And Joseph, he leaves out of Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea he goes, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. So he leaves out of Galilee, goes to Bethlehem to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Is that a birth or is that a pregnancy?
Dude, keep reading. Read verse 6.
Stop. Is that a birth or a pregnancy? What do it mean to be great with child? Do that mean she's 600 feet tall?
If you keep reading,
no, we don't see. No,
brother. If you keep reading,
stop. Had I read the Quran in Surah 6, I would have stopped reading right there too if I wanted to get some understanding. The question still stands on its head. What does it mean to be great with child? Does that mean that she's a superstar like Janet Jackson? If she's 600 foot tall, can she reach the moon? What does that mean?
You read
To
6
be
and
great
7,
with child.
if you read
No,
6
we're
and
not
7,
going to swash over the verse in question. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Is Mary his wife? Let me ask you that.
yeah.
He's espoused to be
They
wife.
say
What does
he's
that mean?
espoused.
What does that mean? Espoused. What does that mean?
I already know you go. You
That's
said
a
because
good question.
they didn't
Yeah,
have
let me
intercourse.
help you. It means engaged to
Right,
be
they were
married.
engaged. Right, correct. I agree.
Okay, and now what does it mean being great with child? What does that
She's
mean?
pregnant, but if you keep reading, it's going to explain the verse. It's gonna
I
explain
didn't
to you.
ask you if you keep reading. I asked you what does being great with child mean?
I already said 3 times that means she was pregnant.
Thank you. Now, why do you take this and put 6 AD on it?
Are you serious? Are you going to keep reading?
You said he was born right here.
Yes,
That's
he
not
was.
what
6
you
and
just
7.
admitted. You
Verse
just
6 and
admitted
7
that
says he
meant
was
she
born.
was pregnant.
Dude, are you
Which
you
one is it?
serious
Is
right
she
now?
either pregnant? She either is
Oh, my
pregnant
God.
or she's walking with Jesus and Jesus walks, like Kanye West said. Which one is it? Is the baby born here or are they going up to be taxed while she's pregnant? Which one is it?
This
I need you
guy's
to
a demon,
commit to
man. This
one of
guy's
them.
a demon. This guy's a straight demon.
Hey,
Yes,
come
I
on,
am
man.
a
Listen,
demon.
ain't
Yes,
nobody
I'm a
called.
demon. I
Nobody
want to
called,
question the
Oh,
shit out you
wow,
right now.
nobody
whoa.
called you nothing on this show,
Hey,
bro.
this is when you know
No,
you got them on
see,
the ropes.
this is
Hey,
what you
everybody
call.
in the viewing audience, in the Solar Mind Debate League land, in Lions Den, hey, when a guy get to talking about you a demon and want to throw personal shots, that means his feelings is hurt. So you came out here and you thought it was going to be sweet coming against the Lions Den, didn't you? I know you did.
This brother clearly is glossing
Now,
over the
you
rest of the
done?
chapter.
Are you done asking your questions? Because remember, you're on the hot seat.
No, I had 3
Don's
other
supposed to be-
questions. I had 3 other questions for.
No. Well, how about we flip it here and there? How about we ask you some questions now?
Cool, no problem.
Can we do that? Don,
No
you got some Muslim questions for him? Go ahead, Art.
Well, yeah, I do. And what I want to do right now is first of all, I want to say something to you, brother. You are wanting to gloss over this verse because it contradicts your position, even though you just admitted that this verse meant to be pregnant, correct?
I'm not even. Dude. If you read 6 and
You're
7,
not gonna what?
can you hold on for a second? If you keep reading Luke 2, down to verse 6 and 7, it says, and so it was that while they
I
were
don't need
there.
you to read for me. I'm
Can
asking you a direct
please mute your
question.
mic? Can you please mute your mic for a second?
No, again, I'm asking you
Oh
a
my God.
direct question.
Yo, oh my, you black people like
Are you going to run from the question, brother?
You guys have no decorum at all, man. It's ridiculous.
Are you going to run from the question, brother?
You just called us demons.
That's okay,
But we don't
Jeremiah.
have no discipline.
That's okay. He
Come on,
want to be
man.
on a high seat. Now he's on a high seat, but you dealing with Pro Rizzo 1 now. I'm not going to let you off the hook.
There's some
See, this
trouble.
is different. This is a whole nother.
You're running like a
discussion
nosebleed,
right
man.
now. I'm asking you, when you look at verse 5, even though you admitted being great with child equates to being pregnant, why did you make a stupid straw man argument that Luke is contradicting something in history? When you saying yourself it means to be pregnant. How in the hell can you be pregnant and birth a child at the same time, brother? Explain.
And also explain how Luke and Matthew is contradicting each other because they're clearly not.
Hey, hold on, Chad. I want him to answer the first question.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so if you read verse 6, and I'll read it. It says, and so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered, right? So they were getting taxed. They wanted to get taxed. Verse 7, and she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room left for them in the inn. So if you go read verse 6 and 7, it tells you that she gave birth that year she wanted to be taxed, which the race became governor of Syria, which was 6 AD. And that's checkmate.
Okay, so we already agreed that Jesus was born, according to scholarship, historians, between 6 BC and 4 BC. You're coming with 6 AD. Why?
Right. So the first date certainly is most academics, even the book of Urantia, which is a New Age Christian book, which is based on
Urantia. I know all about Urantia.
Yeah,
that's garbage. We're not talking about no Urantia religion. I'm sorry. That's
trash. Brother, I didn't cut you off, brother. 7 BCE in Urantia, which is based on astrological science, proving that being born 7 BC. Now, some scholars say 6. Okay, no problem. No issue here. But in Luke, he's born in 680. In the sky, if you look up Sisters of Quirinius on Wikipedia, it'll tell you that Luke made an error. There was a scribal error in Luke. We can look at it right now.
Jeremiah, Give me that other account in Matthew. Brother, you listen to this real good, okay? See, this is why we don't cherry pick the Bible. Here's the first, this is Luke's account. Verse 5, since you want to keep overlooking that, but even though you already admitted, we're going to take what you admitted, okay? Verse 5 means she's pregnant. Verse 6, and it was so while they were there. Who was there? Joseph and Mary, while she was what? Great with child. The days were accomplished that she should be delivered. That means that she's still pregnant there. She didn't have a child there. Her days were accomplished, meaning she was toward the end of her pregnancy. Now, Jeremiah, get me the other account, please, out of Matthew chapter 1.
Come on.
Let's get right to the point. Let's educate this brother. Come on.
Matthew 1:18. Now the birth of Yahushua Jesus Christ was on this wise.
Stop. They're in, where are they at?
Bethlehem.
Where did they go? They're in Bethlehem, correct?
Yes, sir.
They paying their taxes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now we're going to read about his actual birth. Come on.
Now the birth of Yahushua Jesus Christ was on this wise.
In this manner, let's go.
As his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together.
Stop. This is verse 5 in the book of Luke. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Go ahead, read it out.
Before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit.
This is Luke chapter 2, verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Go ahead, read it out.
Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, not willing to make a public example, was minded to put her away privately.
Stop. And it was so while they were there, where were they again?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, getting taxed. And Joseph found out this woman was great with child. Go ahead and read it out.
But while he thought on these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit.
This is Luke chapter 2, verse 6 again. And so it was while they were there in Bethlehem, paying their taxes. This woman was great with child, and she was about to give birth. Go ahead and read it out.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call.
And she brought forth her firstborn son. Go ahead and read it out.
And she shall call his name Jesus, for he shall.
Stop. And wrap him in swaddling clothes. Now read that part again.
And shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sin.
Stop. And laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. Go ahead and read it out.
And now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us.
And there was in the same country shepherds abiding in the field. What country were they in again?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. And they were in the same country, shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And that's the rest of the story.
Let me read Matthew 2 and 1. Matthew 2 and 1. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem.
Say it again,
Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king.
Whoa. I thought you said the man was born in 6 AD. I mean, in 6 BC. I mean, no, Luke got it wrong. No, Matthew got it wrong. No, Luke got it wrong. Matthew got it wrong. Who got it wrong? Sounds like you got it wrong. Sound like you got it wrong, brother.
All right, that's enough of that ass whooping. Let's move on to the next topic. God damn.
Yeah, so
now, that was bad.
Okay, so let's move on.
Brother, you want to, bro? Come on, man. Let's go to something else, man.
Yeah, but go to something else. I had a second question.
Bro.
Okay, what's the second question?
What are you not getting out of this?
Well, yo, JJ, give him the benefit of the doubt. He did say he got 4 questions.
No. We're going to ask you some questions.
Let him answer the question.
Can Don answer? All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll limit it to one more question, then I
we can't ask you no question.
Yeah, sure. After I ask my next question, then you guys can ask me.
All right, brother.
What was who was Barabbas?
Barabbas is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anything specific about him you want to know?
Yeah. What was his first name?
What was his first name? Barabbas?
Yeah.
You want to know his Greek name, or do you want to know his English name?
He had a first name, but the KJV scribes omitted his first name. What was his first name?
And you tell us. What do you
Does anybody know? Okay, mute your mic. Does anybody know? No disrespect. Excuse me. Anybody else know what his first name was?
Brother, tell us what you got. Just tell us what you got, Al. Come on.
So you guys don't know.
Come on, what you got?
Can you tell us why this is important right now, brother?
It is important. Go to Matthew 27.
Okay, you have a point. So what's your point? Go ahead and make your point out.
Yeah, make the point.
Okay, so in the KJV, the KJV scribes, which as I pointed out earlier, the RSV, Revised Standard Version, is based on older documents than the King James scribes had access to. So the RSV is more accurate than the King James Version, which I pointed out in the beginning of my speech when I started talking. The RSV is more accurate than the KJV. It's been proven that it's based on manuscripts that are much older than the KJV. So in the KJV, it omits the Barabbas' first name. So if somebody could pull up Matthew 27:17 in the NLT, we can take a look at that real quick.
Do you have the NLT?
I have it on my laptop, but I'm on my phone, so I can't screen share. So somebody could pull up Matthew 27, because something interesting I want people to see, because most people don't know this.
Okay, Matthew 27, verse what?
Hold on, let me get the verse. Excuse me. All right. I think it's verse 17. One second.
So now a nigga's first name and last name matters. I'm trying to find out how that has to do with anything about you being on the hot seat.
Well, he may have.
This is a waste of goddamn time, man.
So now your first and last name ain't got to do with an ass whooping that you just caused.
Well,
seriously.
Well, let him make his point. Let him make his point. We don't want to, you know.
I guess we need to get edified that Barabbas had a first name. Go ahead, y'all.
Okay, hold on, brothers. Hold on. I'm making a point here. Hold on. If he does, fine. Go to Matthew 27. Hold on, brother. Go to Matthew 27:17 in the KJV first, and we're gonna look in the NIV. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
The Most High don't want to hear you, bro.
Right. Matthew 27:17 in the KJV first. Then we're gonna look at it in the NIV real quick. Then I yield the mic.
Can I be heard at all? Yeah, and then I got a question after this for you about Matthew.
Yeah, sure. Can somebody screen share Matthew 27 real quick? Somebody got that on deck?
You're not gonna read it?
I'll read it, but just pull it up on the screen. Somebody pull it up.
I don't got nothing to pull up on the screen, but go ahead and read it.
Matthew 27:17 in the KJV first. Then we're gonna look at it in the NIV to show you what the King James scribes were being disingenuous.
Then you're gonna look it up in the NIV?
Give it to me in the KJV first, and give it to me in the NIV. We're gonna show you what the King James scribes thought that they were more intelligent than God.
You said the NIV is the better book, right?
Yeah, it'd be more accurate.
Okay, all right.
Matthew 27:17.
I want everybody to remember that this brother said the NIV is the more accurate book. All right.
That's verse 17, brother. Verse 17, not 14.
Okay.
Somebody's got to pull it up here. Verse 17.
Go ahead and read it, brother. You read it.
No, I'm on YouTube looking at the screen. He's screen sharing right now.
I see nothing on this screen, so go ahead and read it, brother.
Hold on, it's like a little delay. I'm waiting for them to catch up on YouTube. Hold on. Okay. So okay, you had it pulled up, brother. Hold on, you push it down. Okay, it says, hold on. Therefore, when they gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will you that I shall release unto you? Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So Barabbas doesn't have a first name in Matthew, but let's show you that he had a first name. Go to I'm gonna pull it up in the NIV. Show you that the King James scribes thought they were more intelligent than God.
"26, 27, and 17.
Hey, you sure? You sure?
You want Matthews 27 and 17?
Correct, in the NIV.
Okay. It says here, Matthews 27 and 17. So when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ?
Get that in the NIV. Right, it says in the KJV, but look
That
at that
is
in the
the NIV, brother.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the NIV. You're not in the NIV. I'm in the New International Version.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn my screen on. Okay, I'm gonna turn my screen on because I'm not lying, bro. All right, this is the book I have. What does it say? Okay, so this is the version I just read it from the NIV.
So I'll just do what I'm getting at. It says, I'm in Matthew 27 in the NIV. It says, so when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want me to release to you? Jesus Barabbas or Jesus who's called the Messiah? Let's read that again. Which one do you want me to release to you? Jesus Barabbas or Jesus called the Messiah? So there were two Jesus. Barabbas' first name was Jesus, just like Jesus the Messiah.
Bro, hell no. Where are you seeing that at, brother? That's not in the text.
It is. It's right there in the NIV. Just go to. You got to put
I'm
the Bible
looking at
right
the NIV, Matthew 27:17.
Hold on. Go to the Bible Gateway. Pull up Matthew 27:17, and you'll see Barabbas' first name was Jesus.
It says. So when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, "Which one do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ?"
Somebody read that. Somebody read Matthew 27:17 in the NIV, please. Not this guy. Somebody else, please.
Bro, I just read it.
Brother, I'm looking at the NIV. I'm in the NIV as we speak. If somebody can read it real quick from Bible Gateway, maybe somebody else can read it.
Yeah, pull this up, man, because this is ridiculous. I'm telling you, I just read it. I'm not lying to you about it, bro.
Well, your version doesn't say that, but my version does say that. Somebody read it, please.
This is the NIV and what you're talking about.
Well, somebody, it's not this guy. Somebody, please read that, please.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do, brother, because obviously, I mean, we're not getting nowhere. So I'm gonna pull up on my iPad, and I'm gonna put I can't share my screen, but I'm gonna show my screen to the audience, so that way we can see what's going on here. Is that good?
That's fine.
I'm using my cell phone, so give me a second. Just bear with me.
So
hey,
Solomon,
you couldn't pull up the Bible Gateway on your screen share, bro?
can I be heard on this thing at all, or what?
Yeah, we see you sharing your screen, but it's not pulled up anymore. I don't know if you had it up there a minute ago. Okay, what do you see? Can you read it for us, Solomon? 17. Yeah.
I can't even hear Solomon. I don't know if you can hear.
Solomon? I can hear Solomon loud and clear. Go ahead, Solomon. Read it.
You can't hear Sol at all in the chat.
Hold on a second.
We can't hear Sol.
All right. So it says
I can hear Solomon loud and clear. Hey, mute your mic,
Rabbi Lewis, mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic out. So it says, so when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, which one do you want me to release to you? Jesus Barabbas or Jesus who is called the Messiah? Is that, you want me to continue reading?
No, that's fine. So your point of contention is that one Bible is saying something, another one is not, Rabbi?
You're on mute, brother.
Yeah, I can hear. So I can't hear. I heard him in the chat, but did you guys hear what did he just read? Let me ask. What did he just read?
He just read that Jesus Barabbas in the text. That's what he read. So,
Right. So
my question to you is, what is your point of contention again? I want to hear this again.
So the KJV scribes, it just says Barabbas, right? Now, if you look at that in the NIV, it says his name was Jesus Barabbas. So there was two Jesuses. You had Jesus Barabbas, you had Jesus the Messiah. But the KJV scribes took the word Jesus out of that for whatever reason, right? Being disingenuous.
Because Jesus.
But why does that matter?
I'm sorry, I got this. Let me handle this. First of all, do you read Greek?
And no, I don't read Greek.
No. Okay. Well, in the Greek text, the word is Barabbas. It means son of a father. Bar means son.
Actually,
Bar is son in the Greek. Abba is father, son of father. He was a robber.
Barabbas is not Greek. That's Aramaic. That's not Greek. That's Aramaic.
I'm sorry, that is Greek.
Barabbas is Aramaic. But hold on.
In the Greek text, the word bar is
the word Barabbas means son of the father. So
it says son of a father.
Okay, son of a father.
You don't know who he is. He's an Israelite, but he's a robber. He was a crook. He was a thief. That's what he was. Now, Jesus is Jesus in the Greek text. That's not in the original text of the manuscripts from the Byzantine text type. What you have from the NIV, why are you going to that? And if was that the NIV that was quoted?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got an issue there. So you're what you're doing is trying to compare two families of manuscripts, and you're choosing to go with the Codex Sinaiticus and Vaticanus for the text that your King James Bible comes from, the Textus Receptus, which is the Byzantine text.
Correct.
So you can't make a comparison between those two because they come from two sets of manuscripts. And also, the text from the NIV is a corrupted set of codices. Codex Aleph and Codex Beta is corrupt.
Let me prove it, Don, because I don't want you to smash my point. Let me get the floor real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right, so brother, you stated several times that the NIV is the better text, right? So in the NIV, I want you to go to Matthew 18 and 11.
Oh yeah, he about to get cut.
Yo, hey, Don, can you give me Revelation chapter 22 real quick?
Sure, I can.
Yeah, give me
Matthew chapter 18 verse 11.
Yeah, 18 and 11. Give me Revelations 22 and 18, Don. Hold that.
All right.
Yeah, real quick, people, hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. That's going to help the channel. We only got 15 likes. Let's get them likes up, family.
Look at Mark
Facebook groups.
Real quick, the
and hey, Solomon, can you add Matt? Matt is on a 30-minute break. He believes that Christ is God. He also wants to get in this conversation real quick before he got to go back to work. So he in the audience. He waiting to come on. If you see him, add him on. Who's the brother that just came on?
He on. So Rose on, JJ. He on the show.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So Rabbi, I need you to read what I asked you to read, brother. Stick with me.
I got it, brother. Matthew 18:11. It says, "For the Son of Man has come to save that which is lost." Is that what you wanted?
Yeah. Okay. That's in the NIV.
That's in the KJV.
I ain't asked you for the KJV, brother. I'm asking you for the NIV, Matthew 18 and 11.
No problem. I'll pull it right now. NIV. Hold on. 1 second. Matthew 18, New International Version, verse 11. Hold on. 1 second, family.
Yeah.
Pull it up. There's no verse for verse 11.
Right. Don,
Thank
can
you.
you read your verse, please, sir?
Revelation 22:18.
Yeah.
For our testament. You sure you want verse 18?
Yeah. Matthew's 22 and 19.
I thought you said Revelation.
Revelations 22:19.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book.
So we just proved to you, brother Rabbi, and everybody that's watching, he made a statement that the NIV is the better version of the Bible, but yet NIV does not have Matthew's 18 and 11 and a multitude of other scriptures.